6:30 on the dot, something in Olympia that starts on time. Yeah, everybody shows up after that. If you don't know me, my name is Sam Miller. I am a professional comedian currently residing in Tumwater, where everybody's a firefighter somehow. First, I want to say this, I've done comedy workshops. I did one back in the day for 18 to 25-year-olds experiencing mental health stuff. I did that. I've done them in schools that I've worked at. But this is my first time doing one in Olympia for 14 to 18-year-olds, and it's been an absolute joy, man. You guys are gonna have such a good time tonight. Yeah, it's really great. Yeah. So we have 6 youth performing. We also have 2 bridge employees performing. Well, 1 bridge employee and 1 bridge employee's wife. And what's nice is that they'll open the show to provide a cushion for the youth because the youth are a lot better than they are. How do you like those? But yeah, I'm your host. I'm Sam Miller, so go nuts. Yeah! Awesome, yeah. So, a lot of you guys know my history. I used to live on a porch couch. Yeah, that was rough. You ever try to date when you live on a porch couch? That was hard. It's hard dating when you're homeless. I was sober. I got sober. I was still homeless, I was living on a porch couch. You ever try to get a girl back to a porch couch? It's not easy. They'd be like, hey, Sam, don't you got a house? And I'd go, almost, 20 feet, I'll be in the foyer. Yeah, I bet y'all didn't know I knew that word, huh? Funny story, the porch couch I lived on was across the street from the lotto office, right next to a house that Kurt Cobain lived in. You know what I'm talking about? Which I really liked because I'd wake up in the morning and bum cigarettes from people at Kurt Cobain's house. People come from all over the world to see a place where Kurt Cobain lived, and I'd wake up and I'd make up stories about Kurt Cobain, which is really good. I live with an aging mother. It's very good thing that I'm doing. She lives downstairs. She's here right now. Give it up for my mom. Yeah, she's here. By the way, she's okay with what I'm about to say. A couple years ago, I had to give my mom the Heimlich maneuver. Very scary. I did a good job. I was watching a Seahawks game. She started choking. I don't know if you've ever been around people that are choking to death, but they have terrible vibes. I'm from Olympia, so I'm a vibes guy, and terrible vibes. My wife was in the kitchen with her, which doesn't sound very good. I was, like I said, I'm watching football, and I realized my wife, she tried to do it, but she just didn't commit, and when you do the Heimlich, you gotta commit, right? And I knew that I had to go in there because I have a lot of CPR training. I was like, I gotta give my mom the Heimlich maneuver. But like I said, I was watching a football game, it was 3rd down. I was like, you're gonna have to wait a second, And I was like, crap, they're punting. So I get up, and I went and I locked it in. And I'm really proud to tell you guys this. I nailed it. I mean, she's fine. Yeah. I nailed it. Now, here's the thing I didn't tell you. What my mom was choking on? Soup. I love my mom a lot, but I'm sorry, God's will. No, I'm just kidding, she's right there. It's a bad sign if soup gets you, But yeah, and by the way, the soup, split pea. That's what almost got her, half a pea. What they don't tell you, the Heimlich, right? I go behind her, I lock it in, and whoop, I nailed it. Half a pea shoots across the kitchen. Also, a little fart came out. That's how I know I got her good. I hope people were here, they're like, I hope Sam does his smart jokes. And I'm like, no. That's it. Uh-oh, I lost my thing. What was I gonna talk about? These are all new jokes. Oh yeah, I've been married a long time. I'm really good at it. It's nice, I met my wife when I was homeless. So what that means is I've never won an argument. Because she let me move in with her, right? I was homeless when I met her, she let me move in. So yeah, whenever I'm about to win, she just holds up a tent and I'm like, you're right. The stakes are high, But yeah, we got in an argument at an aquarium. You ever argue at an aquarium in front? We get in like one argument a year, and like there's not yelling or name calling. Like we're not that. We used to do that. We don't do that anymore. We've grown. We've gotten therapy and all that stuff. But it was still really embarrassing getting in an argument at an aquarium. I was like, babe, not in front of the eels. That's a new joke. That kind of worked. All right, I'm into it. By the way, before I told that joke, this is how healthy our marriage is. I told my wife that I was going to tell that joke about us getting in an argument. And she said, that's fine, but it's not funny. And then she said, sometimes I think people laugh at you because they feel bad for you. Which is much funnier than that original punchline. That kind of hurt a little bit. One thing my wife does is I don't know, anybody in here rip through hobbies? Both me and my wife have ADHD, but I got comedy to keep me going. But yeah, just ripping through hobbies, man. We've done needlepoint, we've done nail art, just tearing through them, crocheting, which is way different than knitting. I learned that the hard way. And about a month ago, she got into plants, and our house turned into a jungle. And I kind of like it. I was like, man, this is nice, man. Plants, look at our house. It's so beautiful. It's so alive, right? But this really happened about 4 days ago. She walked in with a button maker. And if I was any of those plants, I would be concerned. Yeah, she has an azalea in the corner like, I'm screwed. You know what I mean? She's going to make a button that talks about how much she used to love plants. This has been a joy, doing this comedy workshop. That's been my set. I get the distinct pleasure of hosting this baby, and I'm going to start bringing up some youth. But first, we have some special guest openers for you. Coming up to the stage right now, his first time doing stand-up comedy in public. Give it up right now for Bobby Williams!
What's up, y'all? How you doing? Are we doing good? We sold the place out here. We sold out the backstage. I'm Bobby Williams. I'm the executive director of the Bridge Music Project. This is our first time doing a comedy workshop. I've been so thrilled with it. You might wonder why I have a suit on. It's because I'm getting married tomorrow, and tonight's the rehearsal for all that. So thanks to all the family who came here tonight, too, and everyone's families who are here. I lead the Bridge Music Project, and I've been doing music for a long time. That's been my passion since I was 11 or so. And when I was 18, I went on a tour. It was a very DIY tour. We were going, multiple states, and we were an eclectic bunch. So I was with this band called Darling Waste. The singer, his name Lance Waste, big, tough, tattooed guy, but very emo music. So, there's the juxtaposition there. His girlfriend, there's a 15-year-old bass player. I don't know why he was on the tour, but he was. And then their guitarist, also another very tough dude. He would play shirtless, and he had on his chest right here, he had a Wu-Tang tattoo. Shout out Wu-Tang. And on the other side, he had a My Little Pony tattoo. And I was more intimidated by the My Little Pony, because it's like, what confidence to just have, go for it. And so we're going around, multiple small cities, and we go into one, and our show is canceled. Disappointing. We're feeling very poor at the time. It's like $5 a day. So we go to Taco Bell, and when we come back, we have this trailer that we're using to keep all the equipment in. It's made of vinyl. And we come back, and these kids are just cutting into the trailer, stealing all of the equipment, and Lance just goes, hey! And chases them down, but they're younger, they're quicker, they're more nimble. They escape, but one of them drops their wallet, so we got a school ID at least. And So we ended up booking another show just that night at the skate park, and word got around about the show, and it was like every teenager in this small city showed up. And I'm performing, I'm doing awesome like I always do, I'm good at this, and everyone's rocking with me. And then between songs, Lance asked to borrow the mic. Sure, here you go. And he's just like, if anyone knows these kids who broke in the trail, you need to tell us right now. And people were scared. I was scared too a little. It was like, oh, you just shifted the energy in a major way. But apparently that worked, and we got some kids to snitch on their friends. And so we figured out, who did it. We got the equipment back and just duct taped up the trailer, and we're on to the next city. So on to another adventure. Do we have any dog fans here? Anyone have a dog or like dogs? Show of hands. Some of us. I just saw on my, Facebook memories, I've had my dog 2 years. I decided that I just wanted to get a dog, and, I've never done that in my adult life. You just look on Google, like, adopt a dog. And so I found this cute little dog, it looked like it was about that big. Cute dog. I go to meet the dog in person, and I'm driving, and it says Olympia, but it is like deep Olympia. I had no idea how big Olympia is until I got there. And so it's this dog organization, but that's kind of a loose phrase. It's this house that has maybe like 30, 40 dogs and kennels just like yapping all at the same time, and this massive yard. And so this woman comes out. She looks friendly, but a little disheveled, dog hair all over her. I don't remember her name, but I'll just call her Margaret. It just feels like the right name. And she brings out the dog, Oakley, and Oakley is about like 5 times the size I thought she would be. She is like a big dog, very high energy, and it's like, whoa, that's a lot of dog. That was more dog than I was expecting. But I think, being a people pleaser, I take the time, meet the dog. And Margaret was like the master of high pressure dog sales. It was like, you can take all the equipment, we'll loan it to you, can bring the dog home. Or there's going to be a dog show at the Harley Davidson parking lot Saturday. Cute dog, you might miss your chance. And I was like, oh. So, Margaret's looking at me. Oakley's looking at me. I want everyone to be happy. So, 10 minutes later, I'm in my car. I bring Oakley home, and the first thing she does is just pee all over the house, just everywhere, just peeing. And I guess like things are different in the dog world as far as the way that they communicate. Like that is their way of kind of saying like, look, you're the boss, I'm peeing here before you. So that's like dog respect, but if I do that, I'm a big weirdo. So she's making some problems for me in my neighborhood though. It's like neighbors, all very social, all out all the time. I have this one neighbor, he's always walking like this. Like he is always just, like very, there seems to be no joy in it for him, but he's always there. It's like I drive to work, he's there. I walk Oakley, he's there. I come home, he's there. He's always walking. I don't know why, but he is. And he waves to everyone. He's doing this little, like all the time. So I'm there talking with him. I have Oakley. And Oakley kind of psychs people out. Like she'll be like a friendly, chill dog. And then all of a sudden just... So that happened with him. And I haven't got the waves since. And... So, it's like she is a difficult dog, but she's my dog. And, every time I feel like I'm being a bad pet owner, it's like, well, she could be at the Harley Davidson parking lot, so I can't be that bad. So thank you so much for listening to me, y'all. I've been Bobby Williams.
Get up for Bobby Williams! All right. I said that we have 2 adult performers here, and the second one is about to come to the stage, but in a weird way, they also our very youngest performer is coming to the stage. Also, her and Bobby are getting married tomorrow. So yeah, this is the rehearsal dinner, I think. Come up to the stage, give it up right now for Regis!
Stops, heart is clicks. Time to see what's going on in the neighborhood barks.
Ooh, that was tense. Had to make sure I was taking my time so I didn't eat it on the stairs. Hi, everybody. I'm Regis. My first time doing this. It's great to see all of you. Hi. Thank you. Man, I had a whole bit about getting married tomorrow, but they stole my thunder. All right. Well, I guess I might as well just kind of address the elephant in the womb. Yes, I'm pregnant. But it's okay, I'm not one of the high schoolers, pretty sure. Yeah, I know it's shocking, given this youthful visage. But yeah, believe it. So I am 6 months along, so I have another 3 months of this, oh Lord. But it is a joy and a delight, full of daily, terrifying discoveries. I don't know if there are any horror movie fans here, but if you love body horror, highly recommend. Yeah. All of the mysteries of life. It's beautiful. I don't know, for example, who here has 2 hearts? Yeah, we do. That's right, yeah. It's so metal, it's goth. It's pretty sweet. But I'm learning so much. It's really fascinating, honestly. The other day I was looking in the mirror and, just kind of admiring my little girl-to-be. And suddenly I see her moving, visibly, from my stomach. I don't know when I became one of those exotic, boa constrictors with an unhinged jaw. But suddenly I could see, this wombat-type creature just exploring the fleshy contours of my abdomen. It's beautiful, the miracle of life, everyone. Yeah, I love it. Just again, beautiful discoveries every single day. For example, did you know that you could have too much earwax? That's a thing. You can pretty much come up with any random malady and Google it. Yeah, it's a pregnancy thing. Yeah, it's pretty standard. Yeah, that's great. It's a lot of fun, but I will say I think I have gained some superpowers in the process. For instance, I can terrify anyone around me by being visibly pregnant. But don't worry, I'm not planning on giving birth on stage in front of you right now. It's okay. Yeah, that's all right. I'm just kidding. I have no control over any of this. This is my little overlord, or underlord, I guess. She absolutely dictates my life already. It's beautiful. I can't wait. And she's also kind of telling me right now that... What's that? Oh. Yeah, no, she needs to go pee for the 6th time this hour. That's lovely. Yeah. I will say another, advantage of being pregnant, unexpected completely. Suddenly, I have the bowel movements of a 4th grader. Yeah, it's fantastic. Had no idea that could happen, but she's keeping me regular, like I'm on Metamucil. It's fantastic. Yeah, so I have to give her that. All right, well, now that I've explained all of my bodily functions, I think now is the time to grab another snack and pee once again. Yeah, all right, well, thank you all, appreciate it. I'm Regis. Let's go get married.
Good job, Regis. Give it up for Regis. It is so wild seeing so many people do stand-up comedy for their first time because it is terrifying. We have now entered the youth portion of the show. You're about to see 6 young people do comedy for their first time. I've gotten to know all of them. Sometimes it's been strange because I am me, and I've been trying very hard not to swear in the workshop, and I've even been successful a few times. This young man coming up to the stage has made an incredible amount of progress. It's been really something to watch. He has a lot of ideas, and they're amazing. Give it up right now. Coming up right now, Brennan Frank.
Thank you. I'm Brennan Frank. You just heard from someone who eats for 2. Well, I eat for free in the sense that, I really enjoy free food. Last Thursday, my school had a career fair, and I was standing in, I want to say I was standing in line, but there was no line for this where, they'd been telling everyone there to get in line, but everyone refused and just wanted to crowd around the counter for samples of Sweet Lee's ice cream that they were offering. And I'd been waiting patiently, and but people were cutting ahead of me, and by the time I got there, they said they were no longer offering out samples for first lunch, which come on, I just wanted some salted cookies and cream. But I did get to try Red Bull for the first time. It was quite the drink, oh my gosh. And I had brought my diary to school highly because I enjoy writing entries, but also because I write down to-do lists in there. I've decided to get back into that. Decided to try it because in 8th grade when I heard it was a good way of staying organized, and then during freshman year, I decided I'd more improv my days, but then I realized that I was I guess I felt like I needed the organization in my life, and so I write to-do lists in there. But anyway, I had drawn a picture of my now ex-girlfriend Megan Ann Klatt in there, and I guess I'd been I guess I'd been opening to the page where I'd drawn that, and then when the wind began blowing the pages, I got annoyed and just slapped the book, and then feeling all ashamed about that, I then started to turn it on and listened to a song called "In Their Dreams" by The Freeze, which is about breakup. Since Megan and I had only broken up 2 weeks before that, and I know it was pretty horrible. I'd taken it pretty hard, but earlier this month I did recently get rid of a pimple by my left eye. It was a really painful pimple that was driving me nuts, and one important thing about that was that the part of that pimple that annoyed me most was because having it reminded me so much of my scar. I'm not gonna tell you much about it, but that I'd had a scar by my other eye, and I'm not talking about this one, and this is my right direction. And I feel embarrassed having mentioned that scar. Do not ask me how I got it, but anyway, I've decided I should spend my Fridays instead of looking at the internet, looking for an adventure instead. And so today I decided to just hop on the 31 bus to downtown, and then I guess I decided to go catch the 13 bus to Tumwater in hopes of like going to see an abandoned building, but then I realized I didn't have all that much time to explore that and wasn't dressed all that great. I've got long hair and didn't have my sunglasses and had my headphones on and a backpack and if I am to explore an abandoned building, I prefer to look anonymous because I don't want to mess with the law, and also if I am to be caught in there, I also want to be able to pass myself off as a secret agent because then people will let them do stuff like that a lot more likely than they are to let just some 17-year-old who works small odd jobs like a sanitation worker for the parks in my neighborhood and also freelance musician working on a new album. I am working on a new album. It'll be called Annoying Homework. I've pre-released the title track as a single, which should tell you something about me. I am also newly single. Almost finished writing. I've almost finished making it, and I intend to release it later this year. And today I decided to last Saturday I decided to hold a promotional house party at my parents' house on my mother's birthday, which you might think that was a birthday party for my mom, but no. My mom had been in Canada with my dad and sister, leaving me home alone, so I decided I had just been intending to host a house party and played my bass and put on some pretty cool costume for that too. Anyway, speaking of adventures, I did wind up taking the city bus home from Tumwater, and I have been taking the city bus to and from school recently. Yeah, I'm still in high school. I'm signed up for a running start next year, though. But I also don't really like taking the school bus. I don't like dealing with the middle schoolers on there. They're always talking about some pretty crazy stuff and brain rot and the type of stuff that I used to be into, that I lost myself to when I'd been in middle school. I didn't have good middle school years, and part of the middle schooler in my neighborhood that I find most annoying is how much they remind me of what I'd been when I was their age, and I don't like thinking about that. And another part of why I don't like riding the school bus is because I'm so tall that I have to duck my head on and off that. And also, I don't like ducking my head because as I said, it reminds me of my scar. And let me remind you again to not ask me how I got that scar, because if I tell you, I will have because it's such a deep and embarrassing story that if I tell you, I'll have to either marry you or kill you. Kidding on that part, but I don't tell that story freely. And I've also recently been going into therapy. I've been having painful flashbacks to my of some painful stuff, painful memories, and that freaked out myself and others. I am also the type of guy who's pretty good for performing stand-up because I'm the type of guy who I'm pretty sure Seth MacFarlane himself would refer to me as mentally hilarious, which I have been diagnosed with autism, and I think I might have also been diagnosed with PTSD, and I did have a history of depression in middle school, and they even said I might have been showing signs of schizophrenia. The Sasquatch under my bed was surprised to hear that. Yeah. Let's. Let's keep this. A while ago, you might have heard how Intercity Transit, the local bus company, did recently redesigned their system, changed all the routes, and so that happened on May 3rd. So on May 2nd, it was my last. I saw my last chance for something. I walked to South Puget Sound Community College to catch the Route 12 bus to Costco because that was my very last chance to do that. I mean, there is no Route 12 of Intercity Transit anymore. They redid the system, and after that, I'd pretty much, and Costco requires membership to get in there and make purchases, but I just snuck in with the crowd, and then I know, such a rebel, but I also didn't even buy anything, just went in and enjoyed helping myself to some of the free samples, and then went out and caught the bus to downtown, and from there walked to catch the bus to Lacey, and went to the Costco near Hawks Prairie to do the same thing. And also, speaking of how I'd been left home alone last Saturday, on that day, borrowed my mom's car. She and Dad had driven to Canada in my father's car, and drove to the Costco in Tumwater, and did have a membership card with me, but they told me that it had been expired, and I forgot to go get it renewed, and they were having trouble letting me make the transaction, but seeing that I was getting annoyed, let me get away with it, and they had really good deals on Pepsi there. I drank a can of that, and afterwards drank a couple cans later that night, and my parents were annoyed that I'd spent so much money on soda, to which I was like, dude, 30 cans for $13. At my school vending machine, they sell $1 per can. Do the math. I basically saved us some pretty good money. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Give it up for Brennan Frank. All these comedians have been working on a set. They came there, the first workshop, they immediately got on stage, and I made them do comedy immediately because I was worried that if I didn't do that, they might leave. And a lot of them have been working on some new jokes, but coming back to old ones. Every single week, Brennan Frank has done a different set, and more than half of that I have never heard before. Brennan, yeah, he did great. Give it up again for Brennan Frank, man. Holy moly, man. I'm tripping out. Hey, the next student coming up here, or what a workshop participant, I don't know what to call anybody. They came, I think they're our youngest participant. I think they're still in middle school. Absolutely incredible, so excited, so passionate. They missed the first week, but they came in hard their second week, and they're about to bring it right now. You're gonna see what I'm talking about. Give it up right now for the wonderful, the amazing Tori Castillo!
Ah, yes. Ah, yes, school. What a wonderful place to learn. So wonderful until you open the school gate. You come inside the hallway. The first thing I normally see is 20 kids in a circle doing some satanic ritual with their Chromebooks. Like they're praying to some, praying to some Greek god, whatever is out there, begging the Greek god to unblock the Chromebook games. and then that's not the worst part. There's even worse. It gets worse. And then as I say past, I go see, it's only 7 in the morning, mind you. I walk past this hallway to see my friends. You know what's blocking me? 15 group of boys, but they're not Chromebook kids. They're popular jock boys. These popular jock boys are like crowding around each other and seeing who would win in the fight, Epstein or Diddy. And then as I hear this, and I hear the conversation go on, I get a little more horrified because well, Diddy would win because he has all the baby oil, or Epstein because he has this precious luxury island as a field trip. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that just went down. That just went down. Yeah, I try to recollect myself, try not to cry because of how interesting these species of boys are. And what do you know? It's first period. I walk into class, but I see more kids in the orchestra room screaming about who wants to know what's worse, Subway lettuce or school food. School food, I think, in that topic, is awful. One time, I was coming to go to lunch with my friends. It was a very long line for some teriyaki chicken they got from the ground or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, I'm so hungry, I need to eat. I go to the line with my friends, and then I see 20 boys pushing each other for a good old moldy chicken sandwich that probably expired 20 years ago. And I'm like, why are you cutting me? This is not that deep for school lunch. And I'm like, and they're like, well, I'm hungry and I was here first, so you don't get to get it. I'm like, oh, okay. So then I'm cut by like 20 lines. And then once again, my turn, you know what I get? I get nachos. Oh, they look so good and taste so wonderful, right? No, the school food version, it has this rectangular thing with soggy chips, soggier than the ground of rain, especially like a puddle. And then, it's not even the worst part. I'm hungry, so I look at the meat, I inspect it a little closely. I don't think it's cooked all the way. It looks a little chunky. It looks a little meaty of some sort. Well, if you can call it that. It looks like a concoction. The concoction a lunch table is make where they dump milk, apples, and applesauce on it, mixed together in one school lunch, and call it a meal. I personally think that looks gross. That looks worse than my dad's feet. And that doesn't even say much, because the school food shouldn't be that bad. But I'd rather starve myself than eat that gross crap. I will go all day without eating because I've nearly gotten sick from it. And then those nachos earlier, I ate them all up until I get at the bottom. They're soggy and there's like some orange wet chemical or whatever staining the chip. And then I look at the bottom, guess what it is? The meat is soaking through it. I'm like, what the hell is this? It's a new virus going around. Maybe that's why it's causing all of this. And I'm like, and my friends are like, that looks like something out of the school bathrooms. And I'm like, yeah, it definitely is. Back to school. After, few periods, I get to my worst class ever. Third period. There's a reason why. One, I got all the football boys jumping over each other over the back seat of the classroom. Mind you, it's just a desk in the back. Nothing's going on in there. At least I hope not. Maybe. And then I try to sit in a spot. And then the teacher says, it's time for assigned seats. And I nearly get dragged to hell because I do not want to be sat next to a popular jock boy, which I am currently right now sitting next to, or a popular Lululemon girl who is making fun of me because of the way I dress. So it's okay. It's okay to you make fun of me for calling me names, saying people like me and crap. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't just move on with my day. I move on with my day until they keep passing by me and whispering stuff about me. So once if I retaliate back saying you're basic and crap, then I'm the bad person and they're not the bad person. Why am I the bad person? I'm defending myself equally. And then I get sent to the principal's office because I'm bullying somebody. But yeah, they started it first with their Lululemon bag. And I'm like, and Lululemon's to stand me. And I'm like, why am I the bad person? I'm sorry. You can't handle how cool I am. I'm sorry. And it gets worse. More drudgery comes by the time 5th period. Oh yes, my favorite. So fun and joyful. You wanna know what that is? That's PE. Oh, yeah, it gets way worse. It gets way worse. I'm combined with the 7th grade class, okay? Picture this. Picture that. I am sitting in my spa until I hear one of the tallest guys in the school and his friend talking about who would win in the fist fight, my PE teacher or the 7th grade PE teacher, and who would die first. And I'm like, I mean, good for you. I'm really proud of you, honey. And it gets way worse too. It's right after lunch. Kids are swarming to get to their classes. I'm still in PE walking because we walk for 10 minutes. We go to our seats. Then I hear the PE teacher screaming at a kid because they're doing illegal stuff. I hope not. They're talking about how they would trade their somehow vape they got for a single pretzel. A single pretzel, mind you. I'm like, I think you're a little young. I think you're a little young to vape, little there, Timmy. You're little young. But whatever your parents like, I'm not gonna stop you in a way. And if you get lung cancer and have to get that robot voice, I'm not feeling sorry for you at all. That's the life of PE. Gets worse. We're forced to run. We have sometimes we would have to go back and run 20 more times because one part of the girl's the whole time and everyone else is running. And then we have to do this 20 more times because they're refusing to do it. I would not like to run for 50 hours and then my legs, and I become crippled. I would not like to become crippled. Thank you very much. Thank you at least. And then we get outside for PE, the usual. We walk the track. That is until 15 girls slow walking, talking about which girl is the best or who would win. Who would win, the PE teacher or the custodian? I mean, it's literally the same thing the boys were talking about, except it's not anyone involved in dying. At least I hope not. And then I walk past them. Remember this? Make fun of me. I'm walking with my friends, just normally. And then I hear them, "Oh my God, hi Victoria, you're so cool!" And I'm like, "Thank you, I guess." And they're like, "Oh, I love you." Yeah, shut the hell up. Please, please. No one gives a crap. You think you're funny? I think you're stupid. And this has been Tori.
If you're wondering what a 14-year-old junior high Lewis Black would look like, that's Tori right there. Give it up again for Tori Castillo. You guys are killing it, man. All right, I'm not gonna go too much into it, but like I actually know this youth from back in the day because my kids and he was friends and stuff like that. It's been wonderful seeing he's coming to the workshop with so much energy, so much excitement, and I'm so glad he's here. Give it up right now for Owen Gillihan Eddie!
How you guys doing? I know you just stopped. Can you cheer one more time? Yeah. Oh yeah, I know it's kind of weird. Do it one more time for me, please, please. Oh, the dopamine. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, that was stupid. I know it's weird for me to tell you it's stupid. A lot of people have stupid ideas. They don't say it's stupid, but everyone knows it's stupid. The biggest thing for me is when someone has a stupid idea and they don't tell anyone that it's stupid, and no one tells them it's stupid either. A great example, I was driving home. I'm in my dad's truck, and there's another truck in front of us. So we have a tiny truck, and this truck is somehow tinier than 4 feet tall. I don't know, there's like an Oompa Loompa driving it or something, and there are seats in the truck, like the truck bed. Not in the truck, in the truck bed, right? And it's like, fine, okay. What if you're going down the highway at 70 miles per hour with your kids back there? I'm just imagining, oh, I'm Johnny, there's Timmy. I recently learned Timmy vapes, I don't know where that came from. But I'm just imagining I'm Johnny. I have my little thingy. I know someone in the crowd has a little hat with the rainbow. I'm imagining I have that, my little lollipop, and I don't know. Timmy's right next to me. We're cruising down. We're like waving at people, like, "Oh hey, what's up, man? I'm getting kidnapped. No." And I just imagine, oh no, my lollipop, it goes flying because we're cruising down the highway at 70 without a car over us for some reason. And so that goes flying, and then, oh no, my hat! Oh no, my hat goes flying. And I'm about to whine to my brother, Timmy, mind you. And I look over and, oh no, Timmy, he's going flying out of the car! And he dies. Yeah, it's not a happy ending, it's bad. Yeah, a lot of sad stuff's gonna happen up here, I can tell you that much. That was actually on the way home from the gym. So I live I can walk to the gym, so I find it funny that there's enough stupid things that happen between my house and the gym for me to make a joke about it right here. But it's funny, I spend a lot of time at the gym, so I know you can't tell, but it's terrible because I'm a bodybuilder, which is kind of sad, because especially with girls, it's terrible because if I'm talking to a girl, if I play football, right, I could be like, hey, you want to come to my football game? Because even if I'm not good, it's gonna be fine, because they'll come, and then it'll be fine. I don't know why they'd come to see me trip, I guess, but if I'm a bodybuilder, I can't be like, hey, you wanna come watch me squat in tight pants? Because then I'm weird. I don't know. But I don't know, and a lot of people be like, what if you tell them to work out with you? And I'm like, no. Because I get mean when I work out. I just imagine a girl would come, be like, hey, I'll have no memory of that I invited her, by the way, because I'm trying to work out, that's my thing. And I'll feel so bad afterwards, but I bet I'd get mean and I'd be like, you, be gone or fetch me a 45. And then I'd get yelled at, and it wouldn't be fun. But yeah, I mean, bodybuilding, it's not like powerlifting. Because if you do powerlifting, you're building muscle to get stronger. If you're doing bodybuilding, it's all about how you look. So, you know, there's a lot of like body dysmorphia that comes with that. But you got to change your diet. To get bigger muscles, you got to have a lot of protein. But you know what's not in protein drinks or protein shakes or protein smoothies? Fiber. There is no fiber. So, I fart quite a bit now. It's to the point where I can not count how many times in a day. And you know, you get a warning. You know that like feeling, and you're like, you'll get that feeling in class, and I'm gonna try and like, you know, get out of there. I'm gonna try to go to the bathroom. And I'll be like, hey, can I use the bathroom? And they're like, fine, go sign out. And I can't hold it. So I end up like crop dusting people. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna look like it wasn't me. I wasn't here. And then I end up just like sitting on my phone in the bathroom for 2 minutes trying to act like I actually went to use the bathroom. And like, it's to the point where my dad, who does not have a filter about my ass, he'll be like, what did you eat, a dead animal? And I'll be like, yeah, there's a lot of protein in a dead animal, I hope you know. Not a lot of fiber though. There's not a lot of grains in a dead animal unless it was eating that, and I don't want to eat what that ate. It's to the point where I'll be going actually to the bathroom, not just to avoid getting caught farting in people's faces. I'll actually go to the bathroom quite a bit, like 5 or 6 times a day. And now my mom doesn't believe that I'm going to the bathroom. She'll be like, I don't think you're pooping. And I'm like, you want to come see? And she's like, no, I'm sorry I ever doubted you, no. And she's like, you know, she needs to get a mask to walk into the bathroom. And I'm like, yeah, that's what you get when you doubt me. And I walk out like an emperor penguin, like, da 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 da. You know, I like shoulder check her, like, get out of here. But, yeah, no, I do weird stuff like that all the time. You know, one time, okay, this is gonna be, bear with me here, it's gonna get weird. I was taking out the recycling, shirtless, of course, because that's what I do. I walk around shirtless. And I see my neighbor. You know, you're always good friends with your neighbors. I'm particularly good friends with mine. I love his dogs. His dogs are great. He has 2 huskies. They're amazing. And, you know, I waved to him. I'm like, hey. He's like, hey. And he knows I work out. He knew when I did basketball. He knew all that stuff. And so I'm going to go fish for a compliment, I decide. And so as I'm waving, I just flex my arm. I'm like, hey, how you doing? And, you know, he's like, oh, hey, you're being weird like always. And I'm like, oh, he must not have seen. So, as I said, I was taking out the recycling. So I'm holding this big can. So instead of holding it like a normal person, I'll put it in a fireman's carry, just like, da, da. And then he's looking at me, because who wouldn't look at a 15-year-old who just flexed at you while waving, holding a trash can like this across the street from where you live, and you're like, oh, I live here now. Oh, I've been living here for a while. How did I live with this guy? And then I decide, I see him out of the corner of my eye looking, I'm like, you know, I really want that compliment. So I decide to flex my entire body while I'm putting that recycling in the trash can. And I don't know if you have ever flexed every muscle in your body. It's hard not to make noise. So I'm just going like, ah! And I think he got the memo from this guy over here, like across the street from him, just being like, ah! Because, you know, that's pretty loud. It's pretty loud. Especially when the street is empty and he's the only one there and he's just like, who's that? And so, you know, he gets the message, right? Because, I don't know, he's smart or something. And he compliments me. He's like, dude, you're looking buff. And I'm like, thank you for noticing. And then I walked away like an emperor penguin, like, da 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 da. Okay, I was Owen Gillihan, Eddie, thank you so much.
Give it up for Owen Gillihan, Eddie! They're throwing wants some heat. Isn't that crazy? 4 weeks because of me. I'm that capable as a workshop facilitator. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Hey, the next youth coming up here, I'm really good friends with their dad, and that made it kind of weird at first. But then I got used to it. Comedy's beautiful. Stand-up comedy is, it's my favorite art form because like performing arts is on a spectrum, and you have like Carmen at the Sydney Opera House, and then you have stand-up comedy, which is for real freaks and weirdos. And yeah, this is where we belong. And this next dude coming up here, he's weird. Like, he's weird, but it is wonderful. You're gonna love it right now. Give it up right now for Miko, Luz, Alvin!
Hello, everybody. You kind of stole my thing, but nice to meet you all. And I'm probably the strangest guy here. As a strange guy, I really like mayonnaise. We got any mayonnaise haters in here? Raise your hand, please. Oh, you. You're wrong. You're dead wrong. It's one of the best condiments ever. Put it in a sandwich, mixed into another sauce, just dip stuff in it. It's amazing. And right now, I'm going to tell you one of my most common ways to consume mayonnaise, which is rehabilitating school lunch sandwiches. Imagine, I get out of class, walk down the stairs, go to the lunch lady, say hello, because I'm a nice guy, get my sandwich. We go over to the condiments table. Let me walk you through this. First, we take off top bun, chicken patty. Set it aside. We grab the 30-ounce squeeze bottle of mayonnaise that my school has. It's great. Magnificent. You know how, I'm sure many of you put mayonnaise on a sandwich. You go like, quick. Nah, we do this slow, real slow. You want to get all of it, every single square centimeter. It's about, I usually put about like 2.5 tablespoons. Takes me 10 seconds. In case you don't know how many 10 seconds is, I'm going to count it for you. And if you want to join me, please do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, and I put, that's how much mayonnaise. It's like almost all white. I did the math, it's like 30 grams of mayonnaise. So then, after that, we take our chicken patty, we put it down on the sandwich. You want to be real light so it doesn't squeeze out. And then we do it again. And so I'm going to count for you to 10 again for you to signify how much mayonnaise I put on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now we're at 5 tablespoons of mayonnaise. 60 grams, if you will. Now we put the top bun on. No squeezing out yet. But my school is tater tots. And so do you know what we need? More mayonnaise, yeah. So you got your little square, you're gonna take your 30-ounce mayonnaise bottle, probably a little less mayonnaise in there now, and we're gonna put another 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise on the side. And now, yeah. So your tray's finished. You've taken like 30 seconds to put mayonnaise on a tray. You walk out of the lunchroom, sit down. We're eating this thing now. You want to give it a pinch so the mayonnaise doesn't get on your hands. You're going to take a couple bites. Here, bite there, bite there. You got the edge now, like your first half. Remember at the beginning when I said dipping? We're dipping our sandwich in our mayonnaise. Yeah, yes indeed, my friend. And so, dip it, you're gonna take a bite, dip it, we go through that. We finished our sandwich. We still got like 2.5 tablespoons of mayonnaise and 8 tater tots here. We gotta get all of them calories. You don't dip your tater tot, you swipe. So, do that. Take, swipe, eat. By the end of this, you're gonna have out of your, I think I did the math. It's like 90 grams of mayonnaise. Don't think about how many calories that is. I'm a big guy. Well, we started with 90. We ended around 2. All in my stomach in one day. And I'm still hungry. Yeah, and that's what I do 4 days a week. Now that you have probably been disturbed by my strange eating habits, I am not only strange in my eating, I'm a strange man with my hobbies. To be clear, that's games, not get that out of your head. And so I, along with 4 other people, play a game called Daggerheart. And since you probably don't know what this is, it's where a group of people, in this case 4, plays characters in a world created and controlled by a game master, in this case me. So, a big problem with being a game master, it's pretty hard sometimes. You got to do a lot of creative writing, so you want to make your characters, your players, feel good, like they're in a real world. I do not have this problem. Because, as you see, we are a group of teenagers with silly brains, not on task. We don't get much stuff done, we're not very productive. We have a grand old time, but still. So, when I tell you we've been playing for 5 months and 2 days, 8 hours of gameplay, actually it's more because we had to prep all of this. So that's 8 hours of them playing. You think we'd have like maybe 1 quest, 2, maybe 3 if we're really good, completed? No. We haven't completed 1. We are just about to finish the tutorial. The adventure that is about learning how to play this game. After 8 hours. In 8 hours, since about half of us are really tomfoolerish, we do not take this seriously, and the other half won't stop us, much shenanigans have happened. And one of my friends, let's call him Carl, because I don't want to reveal their name. Carl loves taking note of what we're doing and how many times bad things have happened. You see, first one they started was at session 2, so 2 hours in. They just started the how many times have we been distracted counter. Want to guess? I'm not going to let you. It's 23. So that means that over the 6 hours, if you do the math, we get distracted every 15 minutes. But there's an even better one. Carl, at the 4th hour of gameplay, decided to make a piss off the GM counter. That's me, if you remember. This is how many times I've been pissed off in the last 4 hours of us being together. It's 12. So, around averaging every 20 minutes, they piss me off in some way. Yeah, it's a lot. This is why you don't become a GM, kids. It's a lifelong commitment, too. You never escape. But I love these guys. They're great people, fun to hang out with when I can. The thing between each session was 6 weeks. 5 people cannot reserve 2 hours of their time for 6 weeks. But they're great. I love them, and I love you all. Thank you so much for coming tonight.
Give it up for Miko, Luz, Alvin! All right. We've gotten down to our 2 final comedians. I was so excited. This young woman showed up, immediately got on stage, and immediately surprised me with very genuine, very vulnerable, which is the kind of comedy that I like to do. So I'm naturally entranced by something like that. I don't know if entranced is the right word. You're about to be entranced. There, I did it again. She's fantastic, very funny, and has also grown so much in this workshop. I am so pumped for you to see it. Give it up for right now for Winter!
Hi, I'm Winter. I'm 15, diabetic, and my dad is not here. You may be wondering where he is. I don't even know that. Oh, my therapist is here. So, with my dad, here's a little story of my life, missing almost all the parts. This is like 2 years. I'm not 2 years old, don't worry. So, I grew up with my dad, right? And now my mom has custody of me, thank God. And, I grew up with my dad, and he's very big on cars. Like, I can't even explain. He's like, his passion for cars is, I think, bigger than his ego. Love him though. And I'm like 7 or 8. I'm in my room watching Blue's Clues. My dad barges in. Come fix my car engine, child. I'm like, no, I want to watch Blue's Clues, please. And so, at the ripe age of 7 or 8, no memory of that, I know how to change a car engine. If you need help, don't ask, I forgot entirely. And so then, like a year later, my mom gets custody of me. Then we find out I'm diabetic. For 2 weeks, I'm in the hospital. It's chaos, and me, being 8 years old, I'm obsessed with this little movie called Descendants 2. I'm laying in my hospital bed. I'm not gonna lay down on stage. And I'm just laying there. I'm like, wow, I love this movie. I ended up, my mom, we're getting in the car, looking in my bag of diabetes. Insulin, blood sugar stuff, a pancreas, and she's like, she opens it. Use your imagination, pretend there's something here. She opens it. Hey, so there's the Descendants 2 DVD in here. You stole that. You're a thief just like your dad. Because my dad, he has a huge criminal record. He said, yeah, it looks good. I'm gonna have a kid. I can't blame him though, because I'm just truly amazing. And if you don't agree, there's multiple doors. Thank you.
Give it up for Winter! She told us that copy of The Descendants 2 actually has written on it, property of Mary Bridge Children's Hospital, which is hilarious. Okay, I did lie to you guys a little bit because there is a comedian here who has done comedy before, but kind of only at his high school. He signed up for this workshop, and I assumed that nobody had any experience at all. And then at the first workshop, I found that there's this young person who not only has some experience doing comedy, but is working incredibly hard at comedy, and he is closing out the show for us tonight. I am very excited. Bringing up to the stage your final comedian of the night, Brennan Wood!
Hello, my name is Brennan Wood, also known as the humblest man alive. So, about myself, I'm 16 years old. Sam stole my pen about an hour ago. So he's like 17 years sober or whatever. I'm 16 years sober. We're pretty much even, right? But, so I've loved food all my life. But just recently, I've been getting into good food, right? I'm talking good, nice, authentic Mexican food from Taco Bell, right? Now, I was going with my family, right? And I'm still a growing boy, right? I still have maybe 0.2 inches, 150 pounds to gain. And I just get this huge meal, right? And my mom's like, how are you gonna eat all that? And there's a pregnant lady, kind of next to us, right? We're eating in the restaurant because it's authentic. And And she tells me, that pregnant woman is eating for 2, and you're eating more than her. And I say, well, dear sweet mother, I'm eating for 3. Me, myself, and I. Right? So, I think we're at this point in our relationship. Imagine me in my bed sleeping, right? You're weird. Why are you doing that? Stop doing that. Now, I actually do that pretty often, right? Sleep in my bed. And then, so one day at around 4 a.m., I'm in my bed and I'm not sleeping anymore, which I'm not too happy about. And what I'm even less happy about is that my stomach is hurting really bad, right? Now, being the humblest man alive, right? I tend to make my problems into everyone else's problems. So, I get on my computer and I type up an email. I'm like, hey, I'm in pain. And that's just reading between the lines, right? Because it was very professional, actually. If you read between the lines, though, I would have been expelled, right? Luckily, they're not too great at reading comprehension. So, we call my doctor, right? And he says, go to urgent care right now. So we go to urgent care, and then the people at urgent care say, hey, you need to go to the ER. And if you're not sure what the difference is, the ER is like urgent care on steroids, or for people who took way too many steroids, right? Now, the doctors decide to give me a CT scan, also known as a CAT scan, because doctors like being silly. And they said, okay, Brennan, this is very important. You're going to feel like you're peeing yourself, but you're not peeing yourself. And I said, no, I'm not going to feel like I'm peeing myself. I'm better than that. And then about 5 minutes later, right, I had one thought going through my head. Oh my God, I'm peeing myself, right? Now, I'm letting your hopes down a little bit. I did not pee myself, unfortunately. And the doctors told me, hey, you need to have emergency surgery, right? Not good. So, they put me under, I come to, and I'm like, wait, what did they even do surgery on? And I start panicking. I'm like, oh my God, did they remove one of my legs, right? So I lift up, like, my bed sheet, right? I'm in a panic. I'm like, and I look and I'm like, okay, I still have, all 3 of them, right? So, now, at this point, I check my email, right? I'm very responsible like that. And I see I've gotten like 1 or 2 responses, right? So, and I want more than that, right? I deserve more attention. So I send another email, right? I say, hey, I had surgery, like big surgery. I might be gone for like a day. And so then a couple hours later, right, I check in. And I get, the normal responses like, get well soon, please do your homework. And there's this one teacher I have, right? Very nice guy. He's great when you meet him in person. He is terrible at sending emails. So I was kind of like, oh, I hope he doesn't email me, because that would be kind of weird, right? He emailed me. And I'll never forget what that email said. It changed my life. Here's what he said. Okay. So, my teachers have, they've taught me a lot throughout my, 16 years of being sober. I've become very smart and annoying, which is pretty much the same thing. That means I know, pretty much all of the rules of English, right? And I also have an English teacher, right? And she was doing something completely unreasonable by giving us an assignment. And what she told us is hey, this assignment is smaller than normal, so I'm going to give you less days than normal. And I stood up very angry. I was in a trance, right? I said, no, you're not going to give us less days. You're going to give us fewer days. So, turns out that makes me apparently kind of a disappointment and a nuisance. So when I do it, it's bad, right? When an English teacher does it, they get paid. Mind you, they don't get paid very much, but they still get paid. Now, something else I like to do, right? I compare myself to other people, right? And eventually decide that I'm better than them. And so some people, they like to say, hey, I was born in the wrong generation, right? Maybe because of the movies, the TV shows, the music. I was born in the wrong generation because I like sending faxes, right? The older the form of communication is, the better. Faxes are great. Carrier pigeons would be wonderful. The ideal form of communication is Morse code via campfire. But a few weeks back, I had the opportunity to send someone a fax, right? So of course I took it up, I dusted off the fax machine, right? And I send this dude a fax. He has the gall to respond to me with an email. That's like I poured my heart out into that fax. That's like if I send you an email about like, hey, I just got appendix surgery, and you responded with, okay, right? It's completely ridiculous. Anyways, I've been Brendan Wood. Have a great night.
Hey, let's get everybody up here real quick. Come on, guys. By the way, huge shout out, Bobby Williams, The Bridge. He's over there in the corner. He helped a lot. Give it up for my friend Gio. Say hi, Gio. Gio, get up here, Gio. Come on. Yeah. He's really short and he's wearing leather pants. Look at those pants. Imagine being a cow. Someday you're going to be Gio's pants. All right, hey. I have certificates of completion for everybody, and you can show this when you try to get into Evergreen or whatever. Hey, everybody, take a bow right now. Bobby, do you want to say anything? I've been Sam Miller. Bye.
All right. Can we give it up for Sam Miller for making this happen with us? So this is our first comedy workshop. More to come. Please take a picture at the photo booth and give it up for yourselves. We're out, y'all. Peace. And thank you, DJ Trademark.
It's